basically in this video I'm going to flip through my sketchbook, maybe talk about some of the sketches I did and what I'm trying to accomplish with my sketchbook. I always feel like it's really cool to kind of look through people's sketchbooks because they're not as refined of ideas, and you can also kind of see what they're working on. It gives you a little bit of insight into who the artist is, more so than, let's say, a single final piece that you get to see them do. And you get to see their flaws too. I mean, there's a lot of drawings in this thing that I totally failed on. Just either, I don't know if you guys have days like this where you sit down to draw and you really want to draw because you want to get better, and it just is not happening for whatever reason. I think it's just like anything. I play basketball and some days I just can't make a shot to save my life. And other days, you know, you're in the zone. And art, I feel like it's the same way. Some days I can't do, anatomy, everything just flows out of my hands like nothing. And then some days, ugh. I hope you guys enjoy the video. It was a lot of fun working on these. So when I draw in my sketchbook, I use a Prismacolor white colored pencil for highlights, mechanical pencil with 0.5 lead, standard sharpener, and just a rubber eraser. This first sketchbook I started a while back, and I got this sketchbook at Borders. I've been looking for tan paper forever, and this was the first one I found. And I got this right around beginning of 2013, maybe a little bit before. But this is when I really started messing around with the white colored pencil and just feeling things out, seeing how the paper works. So this was the first sketch I did, just a dancer from my mind. Superhero sketch. Nothing really complex here, still figuring out the materials. This is kind of a weird robot girl. This is a kind of funny illustration I did of Kara, my wife, as kind of a superhero mom kind of thing. She's got the scissors here, big sexy hair to do her hair and all that stuff. Just kind of a funny illustration, just popped into my head. Female faces. This is actually the first illustration I did where I was like, I really need to get a lot better at drawing girls and making them look feminine. I've drawn superheroes so long that I tend to draw things men and make them, and when I draw women I make them look masculine. So this was really the one that kicked that off, really trying to figure out a more efficient way to draw females more feminine. A lot of you guys saw this illustration in a video. This was my sugar skull girl that I did. And here was another one. This is a situation where, yeah, the drawing wasn't very good. The face is kind of funky. But, you know, it's a sketchbook. You can have ideas and see how they turn out. I did this in Hawaii. Somebody said, hey, you should draw a mermaid. So I was like, maybe I'll draw an evil mermaid. This is where I really started doing the outlines here. Just kind of a style thing. Somebody asked me to draw some students, so I thought, hey, why not? You know, just regular people. I always draw such crazy fanciful things that I thought it would be kind of a nice change. This was a sketch I did of Kara, just a quick sketch in Hawaii. Not the greatest figure drawing. Like I said, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. This one wasn't very on. This one I liked. This was a still life. Hadn't done still lifes in a long time. So again, this was in Hawaii. Just kind of busted this out. I love this one. This is Dora the Explora, but zombie version, or not zombie, actually just evil. So this is evil Dora. I think somebody suggested this one too, so just a great little sketch. This one I really like. This is a Koopa Troopa. I wanted to do it in my own style, a more realistic style, and this is kind of what I came up with. As far as working on the illustration, right here I'm really trying to make sure I get a good range of value. It's definitely something that I need to think about when I draw. These were compositions for more of those student illustrations. Just kind of little figures, ideas that popped in my head. I kind of settled on this one. This one's interesting too because a lot of people have problems with foreshortening or exaggerated foreshortening, which is what this is. And you know, it's not super accurate or anything like that, but one thing I look at in this, I've realized I have a problem with making a girl's back's too big from their breast to their back, and it makes them look really masculine. So yeah, you can see that in these earlier illustrations, and it's something I've only realized recently why my females look so masculine. Here's some random little girl illustrations, just trying different styles for my book that I was working on. Oh, and this one's just Wolverine. I felt like drawing Wolverine that day. What can I say? Characters from my book. I like this illustration. I like the style, or how quickly some of it is done and then fleshed out other parts are. But I kept this guy. I kind of got rid of this guy though for the book. Just an evil bat creature. I was kind of coming with ideas for creatures from my book. This was kind of an idea of maybe the type of person this Goblin King could be, like a wily type person. Pretty cool sketch. This is a weird creature. I just decided to put some stuff together, and sometimes you just feel like drawing. This is one of those situations where I just wanted to draw something weird. This was an idea I had for characters in the book, Mole Men. This is another idea for characters in my book. This was some Earth people, which I actually like the way this guy turned out way more than the Cintiq version I did of this later on. Another creature thing, just trying to come up with ideas. This was a funny little note my wife wrote me. More little creature guys, like a goblin type dude. Try to think of different, maybe armors or something he could wear, just leaves or camouflage, but I still wanted him to look grungy and haphazard. Fairy, I really like this one because it's one of those things where you can do a final drawing and it just lacks attitude or just personality, and I felt like I captured a lot of personality in this fairy. I like the idea of what she's wearing. It's very minimal, but it's kind of got little trinkets and stuff on her. But I like this illustration. Some different ideas for goblins. I think everybody said they liked this guy. Looked like the guy from Harry Potter, so I didn't really like that one that much. I kind of liked this guy. I felt like he fit my style the most, but not a lot of people liked him. This was a main character idea of Appa for the character when he's a human for my book. Horrible illustration that I didn't finish. Half an illustration of a weird little ninja guy, just because I felt like drawing. I started getting into drawing these mechanical owl or mechanical animals. This was the first one. I really liked the way it turned out, so I was like, hey, maybe I'll do more of that. So I did this fish. I really like this illustration. I think Elena helped me out a little bit there. She felt like it needed a little bit of scribble marks, but I like this one a lot. It's pretty cool. Just a bird drawing. Felt like drawing some animals. Did the mechanical ones. Thought, hey, maybe I'll give it a real bird kind of. I exaggerated a bunch of stuff from a picture I was kind of looking at. More character illustrations of just random people. Weird creature thing. This was a bad drawing. You can always tell when they're bad drawings because just the jawline is off. Just one of those things where the nose is weird looking. I don't know. Didn't really like it. Here's a weird kind of creature. Just more realistic approach to drawing some of these characters. This one I liked a lot. It's got scales with some kind of heavy feathers over the top. Weird little robot guy that I drew for no reason. Kind of a different sketch here. I don't know what I was thinking on this. Just kind of looks like I used a different pencil too. I don't know why I did this one. And then, so this was the sketchbook I was using, and I went to a store in Portland and found this. This is an awesome sketchbook. I love the paper. It's darker than this one and just really cool paper. So when I found this, I was like, hallelujah. I found the big pad, which is what this illustration is done on. But I bought 3 of these at the time. This is just exactly what I've been looking for forever. You can see it's Strathmore Tone Tan. You can get this on Amazon. It's great paper for using with the pencil and the white colored pencil as highlights. Here I just, again, trying out the paper, but here I didn't do any kind of detail through the legs or anything. Just detail up here, my focal point or whatever, and just kind of fleshing out the figure of the character. Or I really like the way this worked. And I think I do this a lot more, but this is one thing my wife was making fun of me. I always put these big mechanical arms on my females. I don't know why I do this when I'm drawing these. Just kind of a funny little thing I do. Really love this illustration. This is a robot that I just drew it one day and it just kind of came to life. Like I said, sometimes you're in the zone when you're drawing. I just love this illustration. He has so much emotion in his face. The butterfly, it's almost like he's wishing he could be something more than a robot. And life is beautiful, that kind of thing. I don't know, just random little take on whatever I was feeling that day. I know I was dealing a lot with some issues of me wanting to do something different with my life, so this is kind of an example of that. Random face illustration. Didn't take it much further than this. I don't know, she's lips are terrible looking. This was a bad drawing, didn't like this one much, but this is ideas I had for some scenes in my book that I'm working on. Kind of a treehouse place for some forest creatures. I really like this illustration. This is a big robot walking through some forest. I mean, this is supposed to be a super huge robot. Just drew this to draw it. This guy, kind of a creature guy, I thought maybe it would be cool to have some weird amphibian creatures in my book. This guy's pretty scary though. I love the little crab I added to his face though. Working on female figures again, coming back to this, I wanted to do some pinups, which I like the way this turned out. And these are quick drawings, so I feel like if I ever took these ideas to another level, or you know, really fleshed them out a little bit more, like something like this would turn out really cool. But again, you can see there's some issues with anatomy. Her arm's too short, too thin. But you know, it's from my head. I didn't look at anything to draw this, so it turned out pretty cool. Really like the teddy bear. Another robot. This one didn't turn out very good. I wanted it to look weird because I don't know what happened here. Just another illustration. This was kind of a World of Warcraft illustration that I did of one of my characters. I don't play World of Warcraft anymore, but this was kind of just a fan art little sketch I thought of doing. I need to work on my poses, more natural poses. Another mechanical animal. This was a horse I decided to draw. Just kind of cool little pieces. You can see how I draw mechanical stuff. I have this more plated style that I do here, but then sometimes I do really detailed, like, I don't know what you'd call it, gears and pipes and stuff like that I do. This is a more natural robot. You can see a lot of different styles that I kind of experiment with. Like this one's way more realistic looking than the previous ones, just because I wanted to try something a little bit more natural. This was a sketch I did of my wife. I did this from a photograph. I like the way it turned out. It looks a lot like her. Highlights are really cool. You know, everything just, I don't know. The only thing I don't like is this area in here. It's just not, it's blocky. What I felt like drawing that day, I guess. These are character ideas for my book. There's a scene where, you know, the main character's trying to escape this dungeon and these goblins are kind of standing guard, and these were some of the ideas for different goblin types. This is like a witch raven goblin girl. This is like a bigger ogre face. This is a weird creature. I wanted to come up with some really out of this world type scary kind of swamp creatures, and this was the idea for one of those. It's kind of got lower jaw, like turns into roots. It's got a crab arm. Weird stuff, just throwing ideas on paper. Again, more of these weird creatures. I didn't want to go with what I usually draw, so I kind of made some shapes. Not really even sure what this guy is, but I really like the way he looks. It's just really weird. This is another idea for a fairy. You can see the skulls kind of make a skull kind of, or the wings kind of make a skull in the back of her, and her arms are really long and really short legs kind of thing. I wanted to kind of try and go in a different direction for fairies. This is kind of more of an evil fairy. Here's more character ideas. These totally look like Dr. Seuss illustrations, especially this one. These were just different ideas for characters. So I really like the way these turned out though. I felt like I came up with good ideas. That's the thing. Sometimes I feel like I don't come up with good ideas when I'm working in my sketchbook. This one was good ideas. I just thought, hey, I heard Ben Affleck's gonna be doing Batman, and it's based kind of on the Dark Knight Batman. So I did this illustration. It kind of looks like his mouth. I looked at a picture for him and stuff. This guy, I don't know, looks like somebody from a video game. Somebody said he looks like a character from the movie Puppet Master, which I think I remember that character, and he does look like him. But Felt like drawing a Ninja Turtle. I think I was talking about Ninja Turtles and something. I don't remember, but just drew Raphael. So again, you can see kind of where I'm like not worrying so much about details and areas, just kind of drawing the character out. I like what that does. I like how you have detail up here and that's where your eyes go first and the legs are just at a base to him. More characters for my book. Kind of a wasp queen, so I give her a super tiny waist, kind of like this is the, I don't know, I can't remember what you call that on a bee, but some kind of robot cowboy. Definitely, I love the movie Serenity and the TV show Firefly. Somebody suggested this was kind of like that kind of futuristic, but still cowboy era kind of stuff. It's all right. He's really stiff. The pose is awkward, but some of the refinements on the arm and stuff are kind of cool, and the hand, the way it's foreshortened coming out at you, that's kind of cool. This arm is wacky, kind of an anime. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't look like a natural pose. So that's the stuff that when I draw this, I know I need to work on. Here's some more poses. Working on female anatomy, drawing, and these are from my mind. See how the arm is really like long right there? That's just bad judgment on my part when I'm sketching this thing out. Maybe I didn't draw it as well as I thought I did in the sketches, and then I rendered it and look how long that arm is. So yeah, I make mistakes. No artist is perfect. You make a lot of mistakes. That's one thing my instructor used to tell us, is make mistakes faster, you learn from them, and then you can move on. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sketches, just, I think I called this guy Caravaggio, who's one of my favorite artists, and he's the long lost Ninja Turtle brother. So that one was kind of cool. He looks like the crazy one. This is kind of another robot girl. She's got like a scorpion tail. Ah, here's Teddy Bear with the robot in his back, or in his eye. You can see wires coming out of here. I like this illustration. I think this would be a cool tattoo on somebody. At this point, I think I started realizing that I needed to start really working on multiple things, and actually work on things. Those other stuff, those are all the kind of rendered drawings, and if I just didn't render stuff out as much, I could work on the flaws that I have as an artist. So I think this pages covered and stuff is going to be what I'm working on in the future, because I know there's a lot of stuff I need to work on. This was kind of a pinup pose, it was horrible, bad drawing day, whatever. Apparently this is Rihanna with a robot eye. Like I said, sometimes I just need to draw and I don't want to think about it too much, so I just start drawing and put a face down, and then I'm like, hey, I'll just draw a robot face girl thing. Working on poses here. I realized that I'm terrible at female figures and poses, so I started drawing poses. And when I say terrible, I mean not up to where I think I should be. Some of the people I follow and look at their artwork and I'm like, wow, I need to be at that level. That's what I'm striving for. Again, this is a horrible pose. It's just unnatural. It doesn't look real. It's, no matter how well you render it, it's the pose that's wrong. There's no shift in her hips. This hip should be lower than this hip. And I didn't accomplish that. Maybe I'm not, because you do have to put effort into your drawings. You have to think about what you're doing. And even me, I get lazy when I draw sometimes. So that's where you have this page, because that illustration previous to these annoyed me so bad that I'm like, I really need to focus on drawing better figures and more natural poses. Because a natural pose will make your drawing, it'll make it look so much more real. And if no matter how well you render it, if the pose isn't accurate or if something's throwing the person off who's looking at it, it just isn't, it won't work. These are some facial expressions that I was working on. This is some of the most recent stuff I've been doing. Again, working on poses, need to do a bunch of poses because this is terrible. One thing I realized that I suck at is drawing faces that are moving away from you. This girl looks like a rat face. So no matter how much, and this was an off day, I forced myself to draw, and that's the last one I have in here. I did a lot more, especially in this book here, but I gave some of my drawings away through my vlog channel with my wife. Yeah, I plan on giving more of these away. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. If you guys like one, maybe I'll send it to you. So hopefully you guys like this video, and I plan on doing more of these sketchbook videos because I feel like they kind of give you some insight into who I am as an artist and what I work on a more daily basis. So anyway, if you like the video, subscribe, and I hope you guys stick around for some more videos. I promise I won't go 7 months without posting a new one.